What is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer for Life back with another Division 2 video. In this video, I wanted to go over some of the benefits of having multiple characters. Now, there's going to be benefits for everyone, and then there's going to be benefits for those who may have a higher shade level watch. So first, you can see this is my main character. This is my day one character, 243 days, 18 hours, 58 minutes played on this character. And then my other three characters are the characters that I have been running from level 30 to level 40. And I'll showcase how you go about doing that. Now, the first benefit and number one benefit for most people, and this benefits everyone, is having more inventory space, because each one of these characters will carry 150 inventory items. And of course, you have your 100 mod slots as well. So right off the bat, that's already 450 more items that you can carry. Now, me personally, I am starting to make this second character here into my second main character, because another benefit that you can have is if you're doing the raids or you're doing the incursion, you collect the keys and you can open the box, but you can only open that box one time. Well, if you have multiple characters, each character can actually collect their own set of keys and open the box, so you can open the incursion box or the raid boxes multiple times during the week, depending on how many characters that you have unlocked. Some other benefits when you are running your character from level 30 to level 40, and again, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that when you create a new character, because I just logged into my fourth character. I'm already finished with him. He just got to level 40, and I've already maxed my watch out with this guy. You can see I only have 4 more points, and I'm going to show you everything that I maxed out. And it's so much easier now, because before with the ceramics, poly, and steel, you could only do 50 per point. Now you can do double that. And then the carbon, you could only do 25 for these right here, and now it is 75. So your points go a lot further now. And the same with printer, it was 10, now it's 15. They kept these the same, unfortunately, but yeah. So one thing, when I am running this character from level 30 to 40, I do it in the DZ. Before, you were forced to do Warlords of New York, finish that campaign, and then you could come to Washington, DC. But now they changed it to where if you do the Warlords of New York boost to level 30, you can come back to Washington, DC immediately. And the way I level up, and this is for solo players. Now, if you are with multiple players, or if you have a lot of friends on the game and you just want to level up super fast, there are ways that you can do that. So if you have each friend, so you have 4 different friends, they all go start a heroic mission and get to the very end, you can hop from heroic mission to heroic mission with those friends and finish the heroic mission, and you will level up super fast. I mean, there's some videos out there where people are leveling up in 15 minutes from 30 to 40. And that's, super beneficial if you are just strictly wanting to continuously get a brand new watch, because if you don't know, after shade level 1000, every single shade point going forward goes straight to your scavenging. You can see I am on my character now to where I have not touched his points at all. I'm not exactly sure how many points. I mean, you guys are seeing it right now. I am shade level 9,294. So yeah, all of those points after level 1000 is put towards scavenging. And you can get, a lot of points depending on what shade level you are. But that will miss out on some of the benefits from leveling up from 30 to 40 slowly. And the way that I do this as a solo player is I strictly go to the DZ. And there's a lot of benefits going to the DZ. One, 90% of the time you can find a completely empty DZ. And the beautiful benefits of this is sometimes there are named items at some of the vendors. Like there is a named item, the apartment, at one of the vendors right now, which is, you know, it used to be a really sought after gun. There's still a lot of people who, you know, want this gun. So the only thing about it is you have to use DZ resources. And the one thing that a lot of players do not like doing is going into the DZ to get those resources, because the DZ has a lot of rogues. I mean, level 40 DZ is pretty much riddled with players just wanting to rogue other players, right? Well, when you are level 30 through 39, you are in the level 30 through 39 DZs. So yes, they do have a lower tier DZ. And like I said, 90% of the time, you can find yourself in empty DZ, which means you can collect all these DZ resources. And I'll show a clip of all of the resources that I have right now. And this is just from me running my character from level 0 or from level 30 to level 40. And I'm already maxed out on my DZ resources in my inventory. So when you are maxed out on your DZ resources, they put it in your special deliveries and they put it in pouches of 100. Whenever you accumulate at least 100, it'll all go here. And you can see how many I have. I have quite a few. And like I said, it's just from running my character from level 30 to 40. Another benefit from doing it through the DZ as a solo player is you're getting exotic components from these black boxes. And we know exotic components are extremely valuable in this game, because it not only does it allow you to reroll exotics, but it allows you to, you know, from expertise 12 and above, you're going to have to use exotic components to upgrade your expertise on whatever item, you know, gear item or gun that you're trying to upgrade. And not only that, when you are in the DZ from level 30 to 39, you still have the opportunity to get any kind of exotics in the DZ loot pool, including the raid exclusive. I'm showing you some screenshots. I did happen to get the Eagle Bear to drop in a level 30 to 39 DZ. And the beautiful thing about getting any exotics, no matter what level it is, you can upgrade it to level 40 once you hit level 40. Or, you know, you can just put it in the stash and go to your main character and upgrade it immediately. But, you know, obviously I'm an OG player, so I was able to get this Eagle Bear to one of my buddies who needed it, and we extracted it out with absolutely no problem because we were in a completely empty DZ. So you're getting all those beautiful benefits with multiple characters, getting inventory space, you know, getting second chances at opening boxes in the incursion or any of the raids. You're getting exotic components from the DZ, from the black boxes, as I showed. DZ resources easily acquired without having to worry about getting rogued, as well as, you know, if you get any kind of exotics, you can, for the most part, extract those out without any issues. And another benefit from running a character from level 30 to 39 and getting that new watch is stacking your materials. So I'm going to show you that right now with my level 40 character, where I just got him to level 40 like I mentioned. And what I use my watch points for, you know, one thing I did is max out all of my materials. Let me show you the blueprint. This is what you're going to have to do to stack your materials, because a lot of times I will get people asking me, how are you over the cap? Well, the way you do that is, like I said, I just got this character to level 40. And what I did not do, I have not bought the account shared materials just yet. Once you buy this, then everything that you have, all the materials you have on this character is going to stack with what you have with your main character. So all of this is going to go up. Now for me, it's going to go up a lot because, you know, I've been doing this nonstop because I was getting ready for the Brooklyn DLC that was supposed to already be out, but they pushed it back. So, you know, I probably have a bit more than most people. Well, probably a lot more than most people. Another thing I was stacking is you can buy the blueprint to share your bench from all the characters, which allows you to come here. I mostly stack these, like I maxed all of these out. So when I buy the shared blueprint or when I buy the shared materials, these are going to stack with all of my other stuff, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. All right, which is first show you what I got. This is what it is now. Now watch when I buy the blueprint. All right, I am now sharing everything count wide, so everything my main character has on him is now stacked with what I had on this guy. So let's take a look at the watch now. And again, like I said, it's probably a bit more than the normal person. Like I have over 100,000 on all of these, 130, 145,000, you know, and this is just me going through level 30 to 40 over and over and over again. And because it doesn't take much time now that you can go to the DZ and do it. I mean it takes, I don't know, an hour, maybe 2 hours. Whereas if you were doing Warlords of New York, it was taking 4 to 5 hours to get through that. So yeah, and I'll show you this here. Now that it is shared, these have gone from 900 to 4,700, 5,200, 52. You know, again, this is just me stacking this stuff up. And I normally was not able to actually max these out and then stack them because it costs so, you can see the materials that it costs. But now that we can, you know, they've doubled or more than doubled what we get on the watch per watch point for these materials, I actually was able to max these out. So yeah, that's that. What I do now is my fourth character is now designated to be the level 30 to 40 guy. I continuously run my fourth character from level 30 to 40. And since I do that, and I've done it so much, I've just accumulated all of this, because if you've done your hunters, you get that shield splinter, right? Well, every time you level up a character, you get new keys and you're able to open this box, which have I even opened this box yet? No, I have not. So I can open this box again and get a shield splinter. Now the only way you can get the shield splinter is if you completed the day or the year 1 hunters. Now once you complete the year 1 hunters, you're able to get those keys and open that box. And if you haven't done that, I will leave a video in the description to a video that I did a few years ago that takes you step by step taking out those hunters. So I've basically have for every single level, you can see here a shield splinter, in almost every level a pestilence, and that's just what I run when I'm in the DZ. This is what I'm putting on, and you'll also accumulate, you know, gear for almost every level. I would definitely recommend, you know, at least putting a build together. Like this is the build that I have right here when I'm running from level 30 to 39 in the DZ. It's just your typical armor regen build. So if a player does happen to come up on us, we at least have a build to defend ourselves. Some of these exotics that you get from the DZ, you can stay or keep at a lower tier at the level that you got it at. That way you can use it as you are a lower level. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting you some builds together as you go along. First, you're just going to be saving up as much as you can, and I have to put all this stuff in the stash because I'm about to deconstruct this character. So I'm going to put all this in the stash and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'll put all of my guns and my gear in the stash that I'm going to need for when I delete this character, start it over, and get my level 30 character. Then I'll put all of my lower level, you know, items back on that character. And at least I start out with the build, right? So that's what we're going to do right now, because I've had a lot of questions about how you do that. So we're just going to get out of here. Okay, so you can see at the bottom there, delete agent. So we want to hold the right trigger down. We are deleting this agent. So we want to start a new agent. And instead of going to the main campaign, we want to go to skip to expansion. So this is basically boosting us to level 30. I'm going to get my character together. I'll be right back. Alright, so after you get your character, one thing you have to do is the very first part of Warlords, which is getting to Haven. So I'm going to go ahead and skip through this part and meet you back at Haven. Alright, we are in Haven. I talked with Rhodes, then I went ahead and maxed out my Demolitionist. And you know, when you do the boost, you get these 3 already with all of their points, so you can max out whichever one you want to use. So now, instead of having to do the Warlords of New York stuff, with the way they have it now, we can go directly to Washington. So let's go. Okay, so we are in Washington, and as you can see, the DZ player bracket from level 1 to 39. And I'm just gonna go to this DZ real fast, and we'll see if we get an empty DZ. Alright, so we'll look at the DZ, and you can see this one is not empty. You'll know if it's empty or not because obviously these are red, and a lot of times if it's not empty, there'll be extractions going off and all that good stuff. Let me just say, even if it's not an empty DZ, a lot of the times it's just lower level, you know, agents farming. I've gotten into DZ to where we just linked up together and just farmed the whole DZ together. But there will be some times where you will find one where there is a rogue in it. So say if we feel like we don't feel comfortable with a DZ with people in it, we can fast travel to another one and see if this one is empty or not. Alright, so we can take a look at this one. And usually when it looks like this means it's completely empty, because you'll see all of the landmarks are up and none of them are red. Now, if you go into the DZ and none of them are red, but there's not a lot of landmarks up, that means there's probably agents in there taking out those landmarks. But like I said, this one looks pretty empty. Alright, so one tip when you get back to Washington DC is we're gonna want to buy the shared blueprints across, you know, all of our characters, but we need money to do that. And we're gonna need some materials as well. So what I do is I go on my main character, I buy a lot of named items, throw them in the stash, then come back on this character, sell them, get some cash, and then I'll go back and do the same thing with some, you know, gear pieces and random weapon pieces, put them in the stash so I can come here and I can just deconstruct and get some materials that way. Because what we want to do now, like I said, is come over here. And the only thing we want to buy right now is account shared blueprints. All right, and we're gonna leave this for after we get to level 40. So what that does is allows us to come to the crafting station, and we can now craft our mags. That is the level, or that is the 20 round mags that we can get for our guns. So I just craft these. And that way we can get 20 rounds for our AR that we have. And like I said, every time I start a new character, I have a brand new shield splinter waiting for me. But since I already have a shield splinter for every single level, I don't need that. There was a time when I was just giving out shield splinters to, you know, some of my subscribers who maybe didn't have the hunters, or didn't do the hunters, because if you are in my group, when I open that box, I can share it with you. So, all right, so we got that little 20 round mag on. And of course I have a little extra mag because I have this one piece. So my level 31 gear pieces aren't super great. You know, I don't get the really good stuff until I start getting to level 32, 33. That's when I get my nice build together. But you know, as you go along, just get the best, you know, loot that you can get and throw it on. So now all we do is go to the level 1 through 39 DZ and level up from level 30 to 40, which like I said, takes no time, and you're getting exotic components, You know, you're getting possibly, you know, exotics that you can use for when you turn level 40, or if there are exotics you want to use on your low level character while you're farming, perfectly fine as well. So yeah, those are some of the awesome benefits that you have when you have multiple characters, and also some of the benefits from running a character from level 30 to 39. You have chances at raid exclusive exotics from the DZ, you know, the Eagle Bear or the Ravenous. Of course, you can also get the Bighorn as well, and you can extract them out with ease in an empty DZ. It is very easy to find an empty DZ. I won't say that, you know, a rogue won't come up on you. Every once in a while, I may feel like I'm in an empty DZ and then someone will roll up on me, but it's usually just one person. I've only ran into one team that, for whatever reason, they like to stay level 38, 39 in the DZ and just grief agents for, I don't know what they get out of it, but that's what they do. But I don't run into them often at all. Like I said, 90% of the time I am in a completely empty DZ. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave them in the comment section. I will be sure to get to them. Hope you guys are doing good, staying safe out there, and as always, my YouTube family, take it easy.